competition. So what this means is 95% of companies or people do 95% the same thing as their competition. Does that make sense? That's conservative, by the way, and it's not a criticism at all. 95%, I could say 99 and get away with it. 95% of companies or people do 95% the same thing as their competition. That's just a fact. CPAs, manufacturing companies, software companies, it's very rare to find something that's literally unique in the marketplace. So this is true, and here's how to use it. I call it the of course category. So let's say you're looking for a job, or let's say you're selling to someone, and you've got all this competition. If you know that this is true, and it is, that everybody's doing just about exactly the same thing except for your positioning, your differentiation in the market, your brand, then whenever they ask you a question about any of this stuff down here, which is almost everything, philosophically, your answer can be, of course we do that. Everybody that does our kind of work will do that for you. You can find that anywhere. But if you're interested in this, whatever's at the tip of the pyramid, you've got to talk to me. You've got to talk to us, you've got to buy from us, you've got to work with us. Does that make sense? You've just eliminated, marginalized your competition. Because trust me, I do this for a living, they're all selling and marketing from down here in what I would consider the of course category. Hardly anybody knows how to differentiate the market. Surprisingly so. Now, conversational dynamics. So I kind of speak for a living. Lots of people end up speaking for a living, whether they think of it that way or not. Anybody on the front lines of selling or communications or internally for management or anything at all, people speak for a living. So I always pay attention to, what are the dynamics that actually happen when people are speaking to each other, whether it's one-on-one or in a group. So see this here, memory? This is the single most important thing I ever talk about, is memory. Okay? Now here's the thing about it. No matter what you do, you cannot ever get people to remember more than a thing or two, maybe. One or two things at most. It's cognitively true, it's scientifically true, it's the research that I've seen, it's my own experience. You just can't get people to remember hardly anything. And you know what the most common thing that happens is? Guess what that is? People remember nothing. Nothing. If somebody talks to somebody today, when they think of that conversation a day or a week later, most times they don't remember a single thing about it. So I'll refer to this a little bit later, but memory can literally be the target of any bit of your communications. The question is, what do you do? That's what everybody asks. Listen to what people say. They will tell you their name. If they haven't already, they will tell you what category business or their expertise, and every other thing they say will be, I promise, more or less the positive attributes of the category alone. And they never differentiate themselves in a memorable way. That's to be avoided. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. So positioning, so branding is a huge topic, okay? Branding has all sorts of aspects to it. There's two parts to it in general. One is the identity side, which is things like I mentioned, the caveman and the gecko and the slogans and the colors and the jingles and things like that. That's all on the identity side of branding. I don't do any of that. I do what's called positioning as a core part of branding, and that's my definition right there. It's been that way for 13 years. How are you different and better than the competition? Period.